So email marketing, as hopefully we all know, is the most effective marketing channel out there. I mean, it's the most preferred by everyone in the world of, the pandemic and being able and needing to communicate with our customers about closures, openings, different hours, things of that nature, in addition to marketing campaigns. It becomes an extremely important channel to be able to do that because, again, it is how people want to be communicated with. You're not going to send a direct mail piece of, hey, this restaurant's open or, hey, this restaurant's closed. You are going to get that out to your customers pretty darn quickly. So very important and urgent.
A lot of casinos, they incentivize their customers to give them their emails. They pay them $5, $10, and that takes, we know it takes forever. It'll probably take you 20 years to get 100,000 emails, whatever. But you have different methods to do that. What do you usually do to increase your database size when you know that that data is sitting in that database when you go to a casino?
We know customer acquisition costs are high. Data acquisition costs can be even higher if we're trying to gain access on people. So we can always be more efficient in leveraging our current database that we have. So why pay a customer $10 in free slot play to give me their email when I can buy it for 10 cents through an email append and really go through a deep data hygiene process on the existing data that I own already and maybe supplement that. So I think email offers a great way to really get that extra touch point with your customers that in today's world is more valuable than ever. Email append, I think, is one of the most underrated tools that we have as casino marketers, right? I can take, let's say, a database of 500,000 people, and if I don't have emails on 200,000 of those, I can easily go out and get emails and start talking to them, delivering them communications, certainly a lot more effectively than the cost of, let's say, direct mail or any kind of other communication. So the fact that you could double or triple your email database overnight, I think is promising for anybody who runs a property. Obviously, things are more difficult now than ever with COVID, and you don't have endless sums of money, right? So people are asking probably more from their teams and giving them less money to do it. That's why, regardless of your size, I think that email makes a lot of sense for people. I think the inactive email append, and I think that it's a relatively easy way that people can see an instant improvement in their EBITDA. So, Ocean was a great example of this. It was arguably one of the greatest debacles in the history of gaming. We took a database-first approach to that and said, we're only going to give casino customers what they want. But in order to give them what they want, we've got to be able to talk to them. So we had a database of 1.4 million, I think, that was from the old Rebel property that they hadn't used. We took that, we cleaned it up, did all the data hygiene that regardless of if it was at a big property, a small property, that you should do. And through that process, we bought email addresses. We got an additional 600,000 clean email addresses, which we aggressively marketed to. And so over time, and I think over the time that I was at the property, we yielded an additional $20 million in profit off of that group that we had been talking to before, and we aggressively talked to over that period. So, it's certainly one of several components that were impactful in the turnaround. But in terms of ease and ROI, I think something that is paramount that people need to be looking at if they haven't looked into it yet.
Mike, to your point, yes, you go into that database, you find the emails, you bring all those old customers back, and you're going to make boku money. Like you said, you made $20 million. And by the way, we did all that work for you, and I'm glad it all worked out. And Chris, you were gonna say something there. Can you chime in?
You basically started talking about exactly what I was going to say, which is, as I shared a little earlier, you need to find those. Email is different than direct mail, and I realize that smaller casinos, you're strapped with resources, etc. Lean on folks like Tino and team who can help develop those very email specific. They've got the experience in the channel. It can help you uncover some hidden pearls that were out there.
Chris, why is it that most of the time we find that people don't take email as seriously as they should, and they're so focused on direct mail?
I think it's truthfully a lack of understanding of the channel. The channel's never been that big, sexy, email. You know, when Facebook came out, Facebook's so amazing. Oh, now Twitter. Oh, now TikTok. And everyone gets lulled into what is being promoted and talked about in the media, and, you know, where little viral things are happening. You don't really have viral sensations going on in email. And so it's kind of been the kick dog of the marketing world for the fact that it's extremely inexpensive. It's not flashy. It's utilitarian. I mean, email is a direct response channel. It's not there to get views and make people, oh, how many likes do I have on Instagram? Like, how many emails did I get today? No one's really looking at that. And I think because there are so many less hurdles to it, that's another factor that kind of makes it it seems so easy to do. It can't be that important, which is ironic because if you look at all the channels, it is the most important channel that can be leveraged.
The ROI on email is astronomical, sometimes 30, 40, 50,000 to 1. Let's talk about ROI.
Well, basically, let's just look at email. It is an astronomical ROI because it's not costing me however much, I don't have to pay for postage. So there's, if we're doing bulk mail, there goes, 20 some odd cents per piece. Then the print job itself, et cetera, versus on the email side, it's a fraction of a penny per email that's deployed. And so that alone shows why that ROI is so astronomical. And similarly, even comparing it against other digital channels, there is a cost to banner ads, and truthfully, and that's where we get into that aspect of, do I really know, did that banner ad drive this business, or, am I just paying for placement and them seeing my name, knowing that only direct mail went out that month and the supporting emails that we normally send didn't. And we do see that email has a dramatic effect on revenue. I would say, of looking at all of that revenue that's generated that could be across the board, when that was decoupled through that technical glitch, we saw that email's revenue, I think we could easily attribute, I want to say it was around 50% of what I normally report on, I could guarantee would not have shown up to the company had we not sent those campaigns. And so it's super powerful. So even taking that 30,000 to 1, you want to cut that in half and it's 15,000 to 1. It's still an amazing ROI in the channel.
Mike?
Yeah, and you think about the cost, right? What does it cost me? 40 cents between printing and postage on a mail piece, and that's probably on the cheaper end. Sending an email is a tenth of 1 penny. So it doesn't, if it costs me 10 cents to acquire an email, that's still relatively cheap. It pays for itself in less than one direct mail piece. So yeah, I think that the cost side is something that is certainly interesting. The other piece of that I think people don't pay attention to as much is just the volume. To say that you could even do this kind of volume, you can't even do it if you wanted to on there's no other medium out there that you could communicate with your database at this kind of scale. So even if you wanted to spend the money, you couldn't even do it, right? You couldn't send an email every day of the week to different segments. I mean, I think Chris has probably sent 5 emails since we've been having this call already. So